Start lying on your back in your Pilates V, balls of your feet on the foot bar, heels together. We inhale as we open and exhale, slowly close the carriage, resisting those springs. Heels are pressing together, nice and lifted. You're in a neutral spine, so tailbone nice and heavy and a little gap underneath your lumbar spine. Then we separate our heels, come up onto our high heels and start to open up the carriage and close. Imagine you've got 2 paintbrushes on your knees and you're painting perfectly parallel lines on the ceiling. Our ribcage is nice and heavy and we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep those heels lifted as much as you can. And then we're going to start to send our heels under the foot bar. And again, coming into that calf stretch. So try and go nice and slowly as you send them down and then back up to your high heels. Then we're going to send our heels all the way under and just hold that stretch a few moments. And come up to your high heels and start to bend your knees and slowly close the carriage. Sliding our heels hip distance apart, we're going to open and close again. Think about those knees, again drawing nice parallel lines. And flexing your feet as if you're standing on the floor. When you come in, we're going to lift our right leg, flex your foot and start to open the carriage and close. So we're just concentrating on that pelvic stability. So concentrate on that left knee, tracking nice and straight across the ceiling. Both feet are flexed. And then we're just going to close an inch away from the stoppers and just move in and out. For 3, 2, 1. And then press all the way out. Close and bring that right foot back down in line with your sit bones. Left foot comes up. And we do the same on the other side. So nice flexed feet. Just imagine you've got a bowl of water on your pelvis and it's not going from side to side. Your right knee is tracking nice and straight across the ceiling. And really flex on both ankles. And then just move that front of the stopper just in and out an inch. Then we press all the way back out and slowly close the carriage, bring that foot back down to the foot bar. We're going to move to your second position, so you're turning out at the hips and your heels are on the crease of the foot bar, and we slowly open and close. Open the carriage on an inhale and then slowly resist the springs on the exhale. So our arms are pressing down, we're in that neutral spine again. We're going to come an inch away from the top of the carriage and just move in and out. So before we were near the stoppers, we're now at the other end, getting those thighs working. Press all the way out and slowly close the carriage. Now changing to just 2 springs. So on this Reformer, it's just 2 red springs. We're going to come into some ab work. So lying back down on your back. Get hold of your small loops. Imprint your spine. So you're nice and secure. Legs can come up to tabletop when you're feeling nice and strong in the core. I'm just going to start by moving your hands down to your hips and slowly back towards the ceiling. So just hinging at that shoulder joint. Then we can start bringing our head and shoulders off the carriage, reaching your fingers and then slowly returning back to the mat. So as your hands come down to your hips, you come up, eye gaze in the middle of the thighs and return back down. It's like your ab prep on the Reformer. Nice and slowly lengthening the back of your neck. We're going to start pumping our arms. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5, and extending your legs if you want, or you can keep them in tabletop. So we inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Nice and wide in the collarbones, like you're dribbling a basketball, and straight at the wrist joint, and the movement's just coming from that shoulder joint. Think about widening those collarbones. Then we draw our knees in, hold, see if you can reach slightly further, and slowly relax down to the carriage, feet back on the foot bar. Moving into your feet and straps, place your foot into the long loops, And we're going to start in our frog position. So heels towards your sit bones, flex and extend out. So as you draw yourself in and extend out, you're flexing your heels as you come into your frog shape and point as you go into your full extension. So this is your bend and stretch in your lateral rotation. Pressing into those straps. You're in a nice imprinted spine. Then we're going to start reaching towards the ceiling and then pressing down. So you'll lift and lower. Go as far as you can maintain that heavy tailbone and get that stretch of the hamstrings. And then only go so far down that you're not starting to arch your back so you can stay in that strong imprinted spine. We're going to start opening out to the side, getting your adductor stretch. It's like windscreen wipers out to the side. Then press down into your left lift and lower. Then back towards the ceiling and open out to the side. 3 times. And we're going to come into our frog, out to the extended position, slowly go towards the ceiling point, come into your frog, flex your heels, press out. So this is your short spine prep here. So we're just keeping our tailbone heavy and almost the triangle of towards the ceiling, down to your frog. This time we're going to extend and then start to lift your hips off the carriage, closing the carriage. Then we bring our knees down to the shoulder blocks and start to roll our spine 1 vertebra at a time before following through into the extended position. Allow your lower abs to lift your hips nice and high. Bring those knees down to the shoulder blocks, then roll the spine 1 vertebra at a time onto the carriage. Then bring your feet with you into that extended position. So we go up, lift, hear that slight click of the carriage closing, then roll back down. Make sure your scapula, your shoulder blades are nice and stable on the carriage. So we lift nice and high, maintain that height in the hips as you start to roll back down and follow through with your feet. Right, and your frog, it's like your upside down frog really. Start rolling down. Moving into your long spine this time, we go up and we don't come into that frog, so we separate the heels slightly, then roll back down onto the mat, then bring the ropes with you back to that extended position, bring the feet together, and then we roll up again with your feet together, nice and parallel, over your head, separate the heels slightly, then start to sequence the spine back onto the carriage, and reversing, we stay slightly separated as we come up. We bring our heels together at the top and roll down with your legs together, feeling the different connection in the muscles this way around. Let me know which one's your favourite. I personally like to roll down with my heels together. And then we're going to finish off this feet and straps with some leg circles in lateral rotation. So your toes are pointed out to the side, turned out at the hips, and you're just creating lovely big circles with those legs. Try and make sure they're nice and symmetrical, and we're going to reverse those circles. So maybe you can concentrate on whether your right leg is going out more than your left or it's leading, and just focus on being nice and symmetrical. And then bend your knees and safely remove those straps. Find the foot bar. Now changing your springs. I've gone for 1 red, so just one full spring. You can always go to a half spring. We're going to come to our chest expansion. So kneeling up against the shoulder blocks. Take hold further along the ropes and begin by moving your arms all the way forward and all the way back. This time we'll go all the way back and we're just going to rest at hip height. Look over your right shoulder and look over your left shoulder. Back to the centre, release your hands forward. And again, so we're in this lovely long column. There's a long line from your knees, your hips, your shoulders and your ear. This time you're going to go all the way to that furthest point, settle on your hips, and then 3 movements back to that furthest point and release all the way forward. So your core's working really hard to maintain that lovely long column. as the weight moves the carriage behind you. Just pop those back on the hooks. And we're going to add an extra half spring. So I'm on 1.5 springs on this reformer. It's 1 blue and 1 red. Come into your long stretch prep. So feet up against the shoulder blocks, hands nice and wide on the foot bar. Just check, make sure it's nice and stable. And to begin with, just press out the reformer slightly. Set yourself in a lovely plank here. So there's a line from your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your ear. And all we do is just hinge at that shoulder joint. So your body is locked in that lovely half plank, nice and solid, belly button drawing towards your spine. We just hinge at that shoulder joint, maintaining that alignment the whole time. And nothing's moving apart from that shoulder joint. Now you can either maintain that or we can come to the full exercise. So bringing up your headrest, you're going to pop your feet in the crease between your headrest. Again, find that plank position, and all that changes is your shoulder hinging. So you're in that lovely long line. This time it's from your heels, your hips, your shoulders and your ear, and all that's moving is the hinging at the shoulder joint. You're drawing that belly button towards your spine. Nice strong plank. Bring your knees down to the carriage. This time we're going to start moving to your bum towards your heels in a nice round back. We start to uncurl as you start to open up the carriage. Then pressing your hips towards the springs, we just hinge again at the shoulder joint 3 times. And then the next time that you're all the way out, we're having a triple hinge. So we hinge at the knees, the hips and the elbow. And then again, we start to flatten our back out, pressing your hips towards the springs and just move at that shoulder joint. Then we hinge back into that round back again, nice and quickly. Coming into some front rowing preps, we're going to change to just 1 red, so 1 full or maybe 1 half, however strong you're feeling. Nice and cross-legged, up against the shoulder blocks. And we just draw little teardrops in one direction, sitting up nice and tall, palms facing towards the ceiling as we go around in those teardrops. And then reverse the direction, so you go out and then in, painting little teardrops on the wall in front of you. And then the next one, we're going to come to hinge slightly forward, hands behind your head, and we're just keeping our triceps in space as we extend at the elbows and back. Eye gaze forward, just isolating that movement. Then sitting up, popping the straps on the hooks. We're going to come back to our footwork settings. So 2 reds and a blue. So 2.5 springs. Lying down on your back. Head on the headrest. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Feet on the foot bar. Feet hip distance apart. Heels nice and lifted. Just press out and we're coming into our running. So you send one heel down as you come back with the other heel. So it's nice and fast, really concentrating on that pelvic stability, so it's not salsa dancing. You're not going from side to side, you're just moving up and down. Then we're going to send both heels under and up, getting that calf stretch. Knees start to bend and you come all the way in. Here your heels meet the foot bar. We're going to roll up nice and slowly into our shoulder bridge, thinking knees over the foot bar, then press out into a nice long line. And then closing the carriage, knees nice and lifted, then rolling down 1 vertebra at a time, back onto the mat. Trying not to move the carriage if we can. We roll back up and press out into one nice long line as you lower your hips. Then lift your hips as you close and roll the spine back onto the carriage, 1 vertebra at a time. And again, nice and slowly lifting those hips, Moving out, extending at the knees and bending. If you think about sending those knees over the foot bar, it's going to help engage your hamstrings and hopefully reduce the movement of the carriage. Now bring your knees in and just rock from side to side, releasing that back. Bring your hands to the hooks and just lean your knees to one side and then over to the other side. Nice stretch after that session. Your legs are going to go over the foot bar. I'm going to do a little teaser to sit up. Reaching towards your toes, hold for a second and relax down. Knees over the foot bar, sitting up nice and tall. Just going to roll those shoulders all the way back, exaggerate that movement. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Great stuff today. See you on the Reformer really soon.